Thank you. Thank you very much, Doug. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone's attendance here today. And if you can think back to last October, were any of you here at Klein Hands? Went over 2,000 people. A lot of hands. Thank you. We in Western New York were the leaders in talking about this issue, the Common Core, and demanding change. And look how far we've come. Back then, we told you to hold us, your elected leaders, who I will introduce in a minute, accountable. And you have to continue to do that. We need your feedback. Since last fall, there have been grassroots meetings in every corner of the state of New York. And Assemblyman Soretto, Assemblyman Ryan, and Assemblywoman Corwin, and Assemblyman Walter and I wanted to hold one here in Niagara County. So again, thank all of you for attending. I am a member of the Senate Education Committee. And let me tell you, there are changes being made at the highest level of education policy in this state. We just want to make sure that the right changes are being made. Because of your efforts and our efforts together and the pressure we are generating, we are now starting to see changes. Just a few days ago, the Board of Regents voted to delay Common Core graduation requirements for 5 years and has started to address the need to eliminate unnecessary testing for students in pre-kindergarten through 2nd grade. That progress is too little, too late, as far as I'm concerned. We need to take a step back and recognize that there is a place for testing in the classroom. However, the manner in which this testing occurs and the standardized learning that goes along with it are being shoved down our throats from above. We need a better solution because there is still more to accomplish, and that's what we're focused on here tonight. I want to thank everyone from the Partnership for Smarter Schools to New York State United Teachers for coordinating this event. And I do want to thank the Niagara Falls School District, and I think I saw Superintendent Cynthia Bianco right there walk in earlier. Thank you very much, Cynthia, for making these facilities available to us. I am going to, after we hear from our very distinguished speakers, and I do just want to acknowledge my colleagues who have gave their time to the speakers to listen to them talk. I do want to acknowledge if they could just stand for a second. Assemblyman Ray Walter on the end. Ray, thank you. Assemblyman and our co-host tonight, Assemblyman John Soretto. John. Assemblyman Sean Ryan from the City of Buffalo. Sean and Hamburg. And Assemblywoman Jane Corwin. Jane. When we close, I'll talk a little bit more about this, but in case some of you have to leave early, the carry-away message tonight is to keep pressure on your elected state representatives, assembly members, and state senators. You know, there are some here tonight, but there are a lot of others here in Western New York, and it is imperative for you, parents, teachers, administrators, to keep the pressure on them. There is an earthquake happening in Albany, figuratively, by the way. With the weather this time of year, you don't want to joke about that. Figurative, earthquake happening. One newspaper described the selection of the Board of Regents as a usual sleepy affair. Whoever was presented on the floor of the Assembly was voted on and became a member of the Board of Regents, enabling them to institute educational policy in this state. But suddenly, rank-and-file legislators across this state, including those on the stage here tonight, said that they were not going to vote for the incumbent members of the Board of Regents, who up until this week thought the Common Core was the best thing that they had ever heard of. Up until this week. Then they started to count heads and count votes for their reappointment. And they found out that there was a lot of well-respected educators right here in the state of New York. And I'm talking about classroom teachers who were fed up with this top-down approach to what's going on in the classroom. And suddenly, it was an epiphany. They started backing down. We have to keep that pressure on. It is important that we contact the members of the legislature that are not on this stage tonight and tell them that we have some great candidates. One, right here from Niagara County, Dr. Walter Polka, who has put his name in for appointment. Dr. Polka has applied for an appointment. I'm not sure. I think he's on the schedule to be interviewed very soon. Dr. Polk would be an excellent appointment. I know that the Assembly people that are up here and myself have endorsed Dr. Polka's candidacy for the Board of Regents. So with that, again, as Doug would tell you, my job was to get up here for 30 seconds and say thank you for attending. Have I used up my 30 seconds, Doug? I do want to, and Doug is going to introduce our speakers, but I do want to give a very special warm welcome to Ashley Dreyer. Ashley is a teacher, a special ed teacher at Lewis and Porter School. Ashley is the Teacher of the Year in the state of New York. And I can't tell you, Ashley, I can't tell you in all the years I've been in the Senate, and I've been in there a few years, haven't I, Cynthia? I don't think we've ever had a Teacher of the Year from Niagara County before. I can't tell you how proud I am, Ashley, of you. And a couple of weeks ago, we had a little celebration for Ashley. And I was sitting at the table at dinner, and one of the parents came up to me. And I will never forget this as long as I live. Ashley is a special education teacher. And this parent, this mother told me, when my child was born, after a couple of years, when he was about 2.5, 3 years old, the doctor sat down with my husband and I, and he told us that our son would never learn to read. That our son had some very severe developmental disabilities, would never learn to distinguish colors. She said, my son today can read. He can distinguish colors. He's enjoying his life. Everything the doctor said was impossible, Ashley Dreyer made possible. Thank you all for coming again, and Doug, thanks for the 30 seconds.